It's time to begin the NFL career of the greatest player in college football history. After winning Mississippi State back-to-back natties, winning 2 Heisman trophies, and catching 40 interceptions in his senior season alone, there is no doubt that Ziggy Sobotka will be the #1 pick in the NFL draft. The combine is a formality since Ziggy has already proved so much on the field in college, and after a meeting with Deion Sanders, he becomes the second Sobotka to be selected #1 overall in the NFL draft, going to the Miami Dolphins, who made some big-time trades to get the #1 pick. Mike McDaniel promises him immediate playing time, and after Ziggy makes an instant impact in the quarters package in Miami's first regular season game, including catching his first NFL interception, Ziggy's coach decides to make him the starting free safety going into game 2 against the Patriots. So Ziggy comes out in his first NFL start, and after a breakout week 1 performance, he comes up with the pick to get things going. Let's go, man. The Patriots are leading 14-10 going into the second half though. Late in the third quarter though, Ziggy's gonna get tried again. There's a flag on the play. Hopefully that's not interference. And bro, this is going to get called back. Ziggy barely touched him, man. That's so frustrating. So a very unfortunate turn of events for Ziggy as he gets stiff-armed by Ezekiel Elliott. Now we got a big time 3rd and 4, and Ziggy's gonna lay down the hit to stop him short. That's gonna result in Ziggy getting the first punt return opportunity of his career, and he makes a man miss. He's actually got a ton of space, getting out to around the 25. I bet you coach puts us back on the field again after that. And offense gets a big touchdown. We just gotta come up with a play on defense here. I'm starting to figure out the free safety position on Madden a little bit. We're gonna get a stop on 3rd down, and offense is actually able to kill the clock, so we pick up our second dub of the season. 6 total tackles and a big time interception from Ziggy. Should have had 2 interceptions. So we're 2-0, feeling pretty good going into this game against the Broncos. Y'all already know what happened the last time the Dolphins played the Broncos. The Broncos are actually driving it a little bit to start this game off, as Ziggy picks up his first tackle there. I will say our boy hasn't been looking quite as strong with the tackles so far in the league, but he looked pretty strong on that one. Sit down. Much like his father, Ziggy is proving to be a fast learner right now, and he's trying us. That might have been a pick if it wasn't an overthrow. So we hold the Broncos to a field goal, but after a turnover, they've got the ball right back. We are able to come up with a sack there. So we are going to have a big time 3rd and 20. Quarterback quite literally has all day, but he's going to throw it away. So the Broncos are just going to take another field goal, and our offense appears to really be struggling today. We're going to have to help them out with some stops here, and Ziggy's going to get the punt return. I'm not sure what's going on with this angle, bro. Is this really the punt return angle? I actually cannot believe that that is Madden's player lock punt return angle. And oh, that's a fumble. We recover it. So a big time forced fumble from Ziggy. Our boy's continuing his hard hitting ways from college, and that'll be enough to get offense into the end zone. Ziggy's been forcing turnovers at pretty much the same rate he did in college so far, as we pick up another sack. I think the only way I can get a normal punt return angle is coming out in defensive formation, so that's what I'm going to have to do. Offense has finally come alive in this one. We have a 2-score lead going into the 4th, and we are just clamping up this Broncos offense now. They're opting to go for the 4th and 27. So we just got to keep everything in front of us, and somehow that's going to be a completion. We messed up the coverage. Ziggy was not able to range over there quite quick enough. But on 3rd and 19, we are able to come up with a sack. Denver's just going to have to go for it again, and we are just terrorizing their offensive line right now. The man coverage blitzes out of nickel are resulting in a lot of sacks, and we've only gotten burned a couple of times. That's going to be a safety. The Broncos must just have an absolutely terrible offensive line. Ziggy is going to get one more chance for a punt return before we get out of here. And he's got a little bit of room. Those juke moves aren't looking as hot as they did in college though. So we get out of there with an easy win against the Broncos. No picks this time, but Ziggy did have a big time forced fumble that switched up the momentum of this game. Next up, Ziggy is taking on Josh Allen and the Bills, and he's getting targeted out the gates on this first drive. He comes down with a pick, breaks a tackle, and he's going to get all the way inside the 10. The streak of turnovers continues. Ziggy has really just picked up in the NFL where he left off in college, and his teammate's gonna come up with an easy pick. We are dominating this Bills offense. This Dolphins team is looking like they could probably make a deep playoff run, but Ziggy's gonna get torched there. I baited that up just a little bit too much. Just like that, the Bills are putting a little drive together before halftime, but they're wasting a ton of time right now, so we just gotta hold it down for 10 more seconds, and we come up with a huge sack on Josh Allen to take us to halftime. This Dolphins defense has been dominant, it, and our offense has been just as good. And Ziggy comes up with a huge hit. That could have been a fumble easy. That's actually our first tackle of the day. We got to step up our tackle numbers a little bit. And Ziggy gets absolutely cooked, bro. This one's probably going to go to the house. He got that ball out so quick. And that is a terrible look for our boy. Ziggy's been good in man coverage this year, but he's gotten exposed a couple of times in this game. And Josh Allen's starting to heat up a little bit. This one could really become a nail biter in the blink of an eye. And once again, he's trying us deep. Ziggy is having a terrible game right now. Ignoring his assignment like he did in college is not going to work as well in the NFL. Ziggy's mistakes have basically single-handedly put the Bills back in the game. He at least comes up with a tackle there, but the Bills are going to have a chance to win the game if they score on this drive. Thankfully, our dude number 29 comes down with the pick. That's huge, but offense not able to get any points. We're right back to square one, and Josh Allen tries Ziggy again. We got rub routed a little bit there. Otherwise, that very likely could have been our second pick of the day, and Buffalo picks up the first down. We need to be incredibly careful to not make any big mistakes here, and Ziggy was just a second late reading that. We lay down the hit, but Diggs holds onto it, so we're on the verge of a heartbreaking loss, man. 50 seconds left, up by 6, and Allen finds Diggs in the end zone. The Bills have come all the way back. We're going to take the loss in this one, and this is pretty much all on Ziggy. After starting things off with a pick, he got cooked on multiple occasions. After an embarrassing loss, we're back at home against the Giants, and Ziggy's getting tried out the gates. Why not, man? We gotta get some redemption for last week. That was just a stupid throw by Daniel Jones, and Ziggy showing some of his dad's acrobatic pick catching ability there. Offense is able to get 3, but the Giants are driving it a little bit. Ziggy was just a second late getting in front of that out route. Our boy is still catching picks, but his reaction time just looks a step slower in the NFL right now. He lays a huge hit on Barkley there, though. The Giants are running some play action on the goal line. That's a great play by our teammate, and this is a huge 3rd and 5. Can we hold him to a field goal? Nope. Jones throws a dot over the middle, and offense turns it right over. We might be in trouble in this one, and the Giants are gonna punch it in for another touchdown. This is looking like it's gonna be a tough day. We've got to come up with a play soon, and our man coverage is getting sliced to pieces right now. It's going to come down to whether or not this defense can create turnovers, and he's got Barkley on the wheel. That's gonna be a huge gain. We give up a touchdown here, this game just might be over. Thankfully, we come up with a big time sack there, and this is a huge 3rd and 19. We send the blitz, and we're all over the quarterback. Offense at least able to get 3, so we're still in this thing. Our blitzes are just hitting right now. So 3rd and 22, we need this stop in the worst way, and he's got a receiver wide open. Somehow they're gonna pick up the first down. The man coverage is not looking like it usually does, and Ziggy just barely misses a pick on that zig route. If we'd gotten that, that would have been huge. That probably would have gone to the house. Ziggy tries to get the big hit on Barkley on first down, but he gets shaken off. That's gonna be a first. This is just not like college where Ziggy won every single tackle attempt, and the Giants are gonna get an easy touchdown with just a few minutes left in the game. Offense does come up with a touchdown, so we technically have a chance to win this. We just gotta come up with a 3rd down stop to give offense a chance, and we get the sack on Daniel Jones. After the timeout, Ziggy's gonna get the chance for the punt return, but he has a guy screaming at him. He's able to get out of there, tries to hit a juke, but that goes nowhere, and it's gonna be up to Tua in the offense to tie this thing up. Somehow they do it. We should be heading to overtime if we don't choke this away, but Barkley has a little bit of room here. We're gonna have to fly in for the tackle, so the Giants are gonna try a Hail Mary with 4 seconds left. Daniel Jones is just chucking that up to the end zone, and we do break it up, so we are headed to overtime. Offense didn't get anything, so we're gonna have to come up with a clutch stop, and on 3rd down we are going to get it. Offense is not able to win it for us, though. This is truly coming down to the wire. This 3rd and 9 could very well decide the game, and we come up with the sack once again. With 1 minute left in overtime, can Ziggy come up with a clutch punt return? He is gonna have to do some serious cooking. Tries to hit the juke, but can't get out of there. Defense has done its job, but unfortunately offense can't get anything, so we just need to make sure this game ends in a tie and not a Giants win. He's actually got a man open downfield. Holy crap, man. Ziggy has to make a tackle. We may not have literally won, but with how bleak this was looking, that feels like a win for sure. Mostly quiet game for Ziggy, but he did have that pick on the first drive. So today we're taking on the Panthers, and Ziggy almost comes with a pick 6 on the first play. Ziggy's goal for this week is to continue generating turnovers while avoiding those mistakes that he's been making in the last couple of weeks. But the Panthers are cutting us up already, getting inside the 10. Our man blitz defense has not worked quite as well in these last couple of games, and that's going to be a Carolina touchdown. Thankfully, offense gets a big 7, and Ziggy's getting tried down the sidelines once again, man. He drops it. Bryce Young has tried Ziggy early, and we've come up with deflections, but those are the interceptions we were catching all day in college. Ziggy is going to get a chance at a punt return here. He's taking it from his own 10, hitting getting a nasty spin to get out to the 20, but not much more. Still though, Ziggy showing that he's still got a little shake in him. It seems like we're gonna have to come up with a turnover if we want to win this game. Offense has not been too productive. On 3rd and 9, they're running the halfback screen, and Ziggy just gets pancaked to hell. Ziggy was manned up on the running back there too. That is pretty embarrassing. And Ziggy gets absolutely cooked over the middle. Panthers are gonna score a touchdown. Ziggy is definitely having more growing pains than his father first did when he came to the NFL. The way he gambles, he has to really be on top of his game to not give up big plays. Despite some unimpressive defense in this one though, we still have the lead. And that was almost a pick for Ziggy. We were just a half step late. Ziggy came completely off of his man to try to make that play. And we got a big time 4th and inches right here. This could be a potential game decider. Unfortunately, they are going to come up with the catch on the sideline. So it looks like it's going to come down to some red zone defense here. And Bryce Young is taking off. Ziggy tries to lay down a huge hit, but he slides short. Was hoping we get tried deep there. Now we got a 1st and goal. And we're just able to keep him out of the end zone. The Panthers are going to punch it in to start the 4th quarter. But thankfully, our offense has honestly been unstoppable today. But we just have not been able to stop this Carolina passing attack. And they're going to tie up the game with a touchdown. So for the 2nd straight week here, we are headed to overtime. And we've got a chance to finally get a stop on 3rd down. We come up with a big time sack. Now it's time for some punt return action. We're not going to have a lot of space, and Ziggy's going to get swallowed up. Offense has been great all day, but defense has to win this game in overtime. And we cannot let the Panthers get into field goal range right now. That's another huge sack on Bryce Young. And we're going to have a huge 3rd and 22 here. Young is flushed from the pocket and hit again. Offense has 56 seconds to cook something up, but they can't. So it looks like we might be taking a tie for the 2nd straight game. And that is going to do it. Given how bad our defense was, not a terrible outcome. But Ziggy's 2 drop picks on the day really hurt us.